and promoted by the European Commission and Eureka. We, TechTour, are the lead partner, together with the rest of the partners, BPI France, Meta, BW Econ, Eura, IBM, and ESF Business School. Before we continue with the session, we have some housekeeping rules. The first one is that we are going to record the session, so if anyone doesn't want to be recorded, please write so in the chat. Second one is to rename yourself with name, surname, and company. The third one is to keep your microphone turned off during the session unless you're invited to speak, due to keeping the quality of the session good. And the last one is to ask your questions here in the chat. This is the program for today. We will continue with the investors' introductions, which will be 30 seconds per investor. Then we have 5 companies for the pitching session. Each company has 5 minutes to pitch and 4 minutes for Q&A. And then we have the closing remarks and the satisfaction survey. Now we continue with the investors' introductions. I see that Ricardo is here. Hi, Ricardo, could you please introduce yourself?
Oh, hello, everybody. This is Ricardo from Era Capital, and we are happy to be here. We are interested in smart cities and smart mobility in particular.
Thank you very much. I would like to invite Nicola to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. So I'm a general partner of the Factory Fund. We started venture capital in 2013, so we are located in Belgium. We are a seed investment fund. We invest in digital tech companies, so mainly IoT and SaaS technologies, and we invest in companies located in Benelux and France mainly. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to invite Daniel to introduce himself.
Yes, so hello everyone. I am with EIT Digital. This is an acceleration program from the European Union, focusing essentially on Series A, Series B companies which are validated and anything digital, really, as long as it's B2B.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I would like to invite Nuno to introduce himself.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, I don't know if you see me. I'm Nuno Carvalho from ABC Focus Fund, investment director. We invest in mainly IoT, microelectronics, and nanotechnologies, and in terms of with a regional focus of Belgium and neighboring countries.
Thank you for the introduction. I would like to invite Bruno to go next.
Yes, hello everyone. I am Bruno Disromel. I've done 16 years of deep tech investments, and more recently I founded the fund manager Filia Capital, which is focused on disruptions brought by AI into B2B for enterprises.
Thank you very much. I would like to invite Owen to introduce himself now.
Hi, I'm Owen Reynolds with Xbond Capital. We're a multi-stage fund based in Luxembourg and investing entirely within the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So looking forward to see the pitches today.
Thank you, Owen. I would like to invite now Thomas to introduce himself.
Hi, nice to meet you. So Thomas from After Capital. We are a French VC firm investing across Europe, the US, and Israel into 2 main areas, which are mobility and industry. So really excited to see today's startups.
Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Christian, would you like to go next?
Okay. Hello, my name is Christian Schüttel. I'm from Germany, here in Düsseldorf. I have an experience of more than 15 years in venture capital. I'm a private investor helping also young startups, especially in financing issues.
Thank you. Karl, would you like to go next?
Yeah, hi there, everyone. This is Karl from Siemens Mobility. So we are investing across the board, trying to support our clients to provide sustainable and seamless mobility from the first to the last mile. Very, very interested to hear the startups in this session.
Thank you for the introduction. Kim, would you like to introduce yourself next? Kim, do you hear us? Okay, maybe we can get back to you later. Adi, would you like to go next?
No problem. Hello, my name is Adi. I work with Thomas Sartori at Astor. Differently from Thomas, I'm based in Israel, Tel Aviv. So I'm in charge to source the Israeli deal flow.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Patrick, would you like to go next? Are you with us, Patrick?
Sorry, yes, hi, thank you.
Hi.
So my name is Patrick. I'm a partner in DAA Capital Partners. We are based in Geneva and we invest in three key technological verticals, which are IoT and automation, AI and big data, and immersive technologies at stage pre-series A and series A. And
thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to what's next.
Thank you very much, Patrick. And last but not least, Kim Newell from OptiTeam.
Hello, everyone. So I'm a investor within this area and also other big data areas. We love impact investments within health, wellness, safety, security, both IT and personal, and IoT, logistics, workflow. We're based in I'm sourcing from Northern Europe, and we also have offices in the US and India. So I'm looking forward.
Thank you very much for the introduction to all of the experts. And now we continue with the companies, the pitching session 3. The first company to present is Karol Birgir from Hefring. And I will stop now sharing my screen and you can share your screen, Karol.
Thank you. Sharing now.
Yes, we can see. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Karl Björnsson, CEO and co-founder of Hefring Marine. We're a company based in Iceland, founded in 2018. And hold on, it's not switching. And what we're doing is focusing on the issue of human errors in boating and vessel operations, where accidents typically happen because of intention by the operator or inexperience or excessive speeding. And a number of these accidents happen globally each year. So our solution is an intelligent driving assistant for enhanced safety, comfort, and efficiency on board, where it provides decision support using the motions and speed of the vessels and the conditions that it's operating in, and tracks when, how, and by whom a boat has been driven each time. And we've worked with a number of customers and partners, from public organizations down to private insurance companies. So the colored boxes here show the system that we have today. We use independent sensors that collect data on the movements of the vessel and a tablet interface that shows the operator the speed, heading, and fuel efficiency guidance for how they should operate their vessels. That data is then streamed to a cloud server and collected to a web platform where reports are made available. And it's the only AI-driven operating guidance solution for vessels that we see out there, and we have an international patent pending for it. The non-colored boxes here show the system that we're developing now for 2021, where we're relying on collecting more data from on board the vessel and elsewhere, building a more enhanced processing station or control station that will rely on or enable interfacing with systems such as autopilots, as well as working for remote operators of unmanned surface vessels, and where they're working with Google's Coral team San Francisco-based Perceptive Labs for machine learning, Garmin for interfacing and testing with the Icelandic Coast Guard. So we have different customers, and they have different use cases for how they use our system, being training new operators to damage prevention, to collecting warranty data insurance for boat builders. The recreational space is where we're focusing attention right now. It's the largest space, but we also see the commercial space, whether that be for tactical crew transfer fisheries, and later on the space for unmanned surface vessels. But underlying all of this is the global marine insurance space, where we have clear use cases from the data we collect and the output that we present, and have projects here in Iceland that we have started with insurers, mostly on hold right now due to the current situation, but the use case is there. But we're working now on the recreational approach because the sales cycles are shorter. We have a clear value proposition there. Commercial is a space that we started working in, shifted over to recreational because of the longer sales cycles, but has a high value for us. And the unmanned space is very much R&D introduction space at the moment. But right now we're targeting builders of recreational boats and insurers, later moving into the users and suppliers of equipment. Our business model is sale of hardware and subscription, hardware, for example, to the boat builders, and subscription to the end user. So we foresee over the next 5 years, annual growth of around 200% per year, where we need to cover the first 3 years with funding. And there are drivers in the forecast, including booming boat sales, new and inexperienced boaters coming into the market, demand for navigation and training equipment in the commercial sector, and a fast-growing market for USVs. We're a strong team with backgrounds from business to engineering to physics, and are supported by a strong board as well as advisory team. And we're now looking for 2 million euros in funding, where we are aiming to put 50% of that into R&D over these next couple of years to expand our solution for modularity, and enhanced systems and scalability. And 40% into sales and marketing and business development, working with partners and agents. So we have raised around 700,000 to date. Half of that was a grant received here in Iceland. And we're now looking for a lead investor to come into a round, a seed round for 2 million euro for about half of the amount, since we have half secured with primarily interested minority maritime investors, including the Brunswick Corporation, which is the world's largest boat builder, who are interested in coming into our seed round that we aim to close by early Q1 2021. So if this is something that might be of interest for you, then please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the great presentation, Karol. You finished just right on time. We already have the first question. Daniel, please unmute yourself and ask your questions directly.
Oh, hi, sorry, I thought we had to go through the chat. So thank you, Karl. I have, at this moment, I have trouble understanding how much demand, how easy the decision will be on the customer side for you. So could you outline in the ROI, maybe financially, maybe also beside financially, what is going to drive the customer to buy this and buy it fast?
So we started, first and foremost, to come back to this slide, we started in the commercial space this year. That's why our focus has been on, for example, our customers are search and rescue and Coast Guard. But we've had a lot of slowdowns in sales cycles because of the pandemic. So we put a lot of effort into studying the segment that we apply mostly to at the moment, and we found that the recreational space is coming back very strong. And the reasons for that, and the reasons for targeting boat builders, is because there's been an issue in boating over the last 15 years or so, with most boaters that are coming in to buy new boats are buying second or third or their fourth boat. A lot of the younger crowd are not buying boats due to cost reasons or due to inexperience. So the demand there, in particular with the boat builders, this segment that we're targeting now, is the fact that they're able to sell more boats. They're able to actually get our system on board, which trains you on the go. And a lot of builders are looking into doing something similar to what we're doing, although they don't have the capacity to do exactly what we're doing. They're more relying on training videos, etc., Whereas we, in fact, just tell you as a boater how you should be driving your boat. What course should you take? What speed should you be doing when you have your family on board and you want to keep everybody safe? And what can you potentially save in your insurance from following this guidance? And what better warranty data can you actually provide back to your builder in case of an incident? And can you potentially push up the resale value of your boat, which is a big issue in boating, that depreciation on boats is typically a lot faster than it is, for example, in automobiles. But if you have the entire logbook of your operation, you're more inclined to be able to push it up. So at least focusing on the recreational in a short answer.
Thank you for answering these questions. We have one time for one more. Who would like to go next?
Maybe can you tell a few words about the competition and how you position yourself in the market compared to competitors, please?
Sure. So in the recreational space, there are solutions that are called like connected boating solutions. What they do is they'll track your location of your boat, and they'll track the systems on your boat, and if your bilge pump is doing okay, or if your door has been opened and somebody's trying to steal like sort of static information. So that is pretty much, especially in the recreational, that is pretty much the main competition at the moment, although they are not doing the same thing that we're doing. But that's where we see the biggest need to differentiate ourselves away from them. And in our conversations with boat builders, we've become more sophisticated at doing that, because we found that initially when we're talking to boat builders, they tended to cluster us into the same group, not realizing that what our solution does is entirely different. In the commercial space, you have companies that are using the same data, but not providing the same type of output that we're producing. They're using the data for research purposes or design purposes, but not for continuous information on the go. And in the unmanned sector, you mostly have companies that are building their own system. So there you could have probably the closest competition to exactly the type of system that we're developing, but it'll be within the entire control system. There's no modular solution, which is where we want to go in the unmanned space, offering this as a modular solution to new builders of unmanned vessels, which is increasing every quarter, the number of companies that are involved in that space.
Thank you, Karol. We're out of time for questions, but you can always continue your communication through our platform. I would like to remind the expert juries before we continue that my colleague pasted here in the chat the link to the evaluation form, so you can leave your anonymous feedback for the companies. Thank you. The next company to present. Everyone. Thank you, Karol. The next company to present is Skriware. Karol, would you like to share your screen?
Yes, of course. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you see my screen now? Yeah,
yes,
probably it's in.
Can start.
Great, thank you. So, did you miss the opportunity to invest in Android or Steam gaming distribution platform in the past? Well, this might be your lucky day today, since Skriware our goal is to become like a standard operating system to link consumer 3D printing technology with a 3D printable model base of robots that can be used for education in a play and learn context. But let's first get down to the problem that we are facing now. Actually, before, I would like to show you that we are closely in Skriware following these three mega trends. The one is local manufacturing, custom design. The second, personalized home-based education. And the third is curated content and the passion economy. And the three underlying technologies that are attracting our attention is 3D printing, mixed reality, and gaming. But getting to the problem, what we're facing now post-COVID times, really, is that the teachers are the critical part of the old education system, and yet the old traditional education system does not work. So why? The first and foremost is that we are doing a terrible job because, well, teachers are not trained enough. They simply are overburdened. And the mostly is because they lack engaging and training resources. And on the other hand, we need to match the needs of the children that are very different than they used to be. They need to engage in motoric skills, hands-on, they need to fidget around, they need to have interdisciplinary teams. So they need to on one hand, be attractive, on the second hand, it needs to be served nicely to the teacher. And this is exactly what we did. Skriware deployed the Skrilab. This is like hybrid learning ecosystem. This is like a one lab that comprises of 3D printing technology, robotics, online education. And this is like interdisciplinary system, one turnkey solution that is particularly focused on developing STEAM skills and vocational educational training skills. And on the heart of the, very heart of the system is Skriware Academy. There's our subscription model content base. We have courses covering 8 subjects from school for K-12 education that explain how to use all these tools right here, robots, part of it, 3D models, design tools in the real context of the school. And at the same time, we have e-courses, so a tool where they learn how to use these tools. So we onboard the teachers and we also improve their methodology so that they're more effective in delivering the technology in the classroom. So we really started selling the whole solution from January this year, and the pipeline for first quarter 2021 is exceeding now 1 million euro. We're present in 130 schools, institutions. We signed 3 new distribution deals during COVID lockdown. So it's really, we're really catching up because this is the time for education. This is the time for hybrid education and for personalized learning. So we work with distribution partners, but we also partner up with corporate partners. We are co-selling partner of Microsoft. The goal here is to integrate with Teams and get direct access to the teachers and users. We are also bundling mobile devices with our robots and printers and the whole lab to create the joint bundle via the Samsung channel. And we are excited to announce more cooperations very soon. The team really behind this crazy idea is a mix of passion and experience. We've been through a lot and we know how to deliver and go through hell as well. So on the competitive advantages, to summarize, we have patentable 3D printing technology that can be licensed outside of external devices. We have hybrid learning system ready for bundling with big partners and creating real synergies to boost sales. And our model is a diversified resource, high margins, around 60% on the final product. So the next year, early next year, I hope to close a round. This is about integrating with external 3D printers, building this API interface, launching, also offering for the families with children to go to the B2C sales channel and simply focus on stickiness and creating recurring revenues on the whole thing. My name is Karol Górnowicz. I'm CEO of Skriware. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karol, for the very nice presentation. Now it's time for questions. Dear expert, please unmute yourselves and ask your questions directly to Karol.
Sorry. There are no questions.
No, I think Nunu just unmuted himself.
Yeah, just one question. So who is in the end your customer? Are you selling to the schools directly?
So we are selling through distribution partners. So these are like value-added distributors who have a local service center to service the hardware. And they also work with resellers locally to do implementation and training based on our materials. This is how we scale outside of Poland because we're based in Warsaw in Poland. In Poland, however, we have a mixed model. So we have a large distributor, the largest one that covers really 50% of the school market here in Poland. And we also do direct sales.
Okay.
The budget, I mean, if you're, I often get this question, the budget we're going after, we go to public schools and private schools. Actually, most of the schools are public and they're funded by parents. They're also funded by EU funds. They're funded by the local government monies. So it's like a B2B, B2G kind of model. And despite the pipeline, which looks very promising for us, for the A round, we are still trying to find the best business model for now. So that's why we'll be experimenting with the B2C product, but that will be fully using what we have developed in the past. So the bricks system, the robots, the software is already, we will package it differently and sell it to a different customer for B2C revenue.
Thank you very much for answering this question. We have time for one more quick question. Does anyone else wants to ask a question?
I may also just add just one more thing, that we are, at the moment, we are still producing everything because of the quality control and, well, it's pretty complex to develop it everything, but now we are in advanced discussions with one of the largest 3D printing makers, global 3D printing makers, that want to license our technology and integrate the content and the software on their 3D printer. So we are already going to this model when we are becoming the operating system for designs, programmable, printable robots, and education content supporting this.
I do have one question. Would you consider moving it into other areas, or like have other modules for other hardware components? Because it seems applicable to have like a gradual progression to teach kids how basically all of our hardware works and fits together, maybe even as a complement or before learning about software.
So we have our educational path starts from 6 years old. So we teach them, there's like methodologically proven way to just gradually, step by step, teach them. And we also do the like basic programming, block coding with an app, and then end up with Python, MicroPython, and all of that. So, and they also learn how these different modules for the robots work. Our goal is not to go too much into detail and not to do like this whole like one story, like comprehensive curriculum, if you will, about the hardware and printers, because the goal is to really change the mindset of children and teachers, and to do it early on when still the habits of teaching are being formed at school. So we are there to show them on how to think, to just give them exposure to these topics. Yes, we have the structured curriculum, but we are not going to create it on our own all the time. That's why we want to integrate other content based on that. But we are not going to become like one focus curriculum, because that's not the goal. That's not these are not our values in the company.
Thank you very much for answering the questions, Karol. We're out of time. So we are continuing with the next company, that is Imagine Intelligent Materials. Jaakko, would you like to share your screen?
Yes, just a second.
Wonderful, we see it. The floor is yours.
Very good. Good afternoon. My name is Jaakko. I'm president of Imagine Intelligent Materials. We work with sensing surfaces, and the problems we are trying to solve are related to water damage in buildings. $13 billion problem in US insurance cost annually alone. Creates moisture, mold, unhealthy particles in the air for people. It incurs a lot of cost. Another one, wasted space and resources and energy in buildings that are not smart. We are not managing our space in the buildings optimally. 10 billion problem in the UK alone. Then COVID has set new requirements for homes and workspaces, how we measure social distancing between people. And then also we have an increasing number of geriatrics in the world. How do we care for aged people? Current point sensors cannot economically resolve sensing in the large scale. And that's why we have developed a solution that can do that. We have a proprietary method of manufacturing graphene nanoplatelets, which will create a large conductive surface. which we are then able to measure with signal processing hardware, software, and algorithms. We are able to measure things like pressure, strain, moisture, heat, and touch from the surface. And we can detect that through signal processing, and which means that we can, from the entire surface, create real-time data for analytics. We have patents and trade secrets how we have protected our solution and the manufacturing methods. First example of the solution is leak and moisture sensing on the rooftop of a building. Literally implementing this in Melbourne, started this morning and completing tomorrow morning. So it's a very, very timely solution for us. We develop a graphene coating on top of the CLT wood surface. We've done this in collaboration with Stora Enso, which is a wood company in Finland. We create an entire roof sensor, which then will detect the moisture levels in real time and be able to report any alerts that happen on the roof if an excess amount of moisture is sensed. Same can be done in the walls, pipes, and walls and everywhere in the building. Another solution we've been experimenting in Germany with one of our customers since March is a smart floor. Smart floor creates awareness of space usage and people flow. It can be providing also safety and efficiency for the users. We have created a form factor, which is a queuing mat, which you can see here in the middle of the picture, which we call on queue. This is aimed for social distancing in the queues. We are rolling it out in January now in Australia, trying out the market. But the same concept, you have a graphene underlay underneath the flooring or mat surface. You connect the signal processing devices from the edge, no intelligence underneath the floor, and you create data actionable insights and alerts. You can monitor movement, occupancy, falls, which for edge people is one of the key problems for getting hurt. Our value proposition for customers really, we move the sensing into the materials with low incremental cost. Anonymous solution, programmable, you can update it over the air, scalable, produces real-time data. It can save a lot of money in annual rents and energy when you optimize your space. It can drive your revenue if you are a retailer, when you understand how your customers are behaving, or if you can detect the fall of an edge person in time, you can actually save life. Leak sensing, in detecting that early, can substantially cut the remediation cost. It costs a lot of money to repair your leaking roof 3 years after you recognize it. It offers a path towards lower insurance costs and premiums as well going forward. And for partner who we work with, we enable them to move into recurring data revenue and continuous customer relationship. We're working with Stora Enso, like I said earlier. There are other wood companies in Finland and US who we are creating solutions with. And we're working with universities. There's an industrial coding company in Germany who we work with. And our customers are really construction, real estate, retail, offices. It's a large segment of customers who have use for the solutions. Market is large. So smart home, smart building market forming the kind of the backbone of the market. But then there are particular market segments which are especially hit by COVID and in need for new solutions like office space, for instance. There's competition out there as always, which is a good thing because the market is there, we know that. Point sensors cannot scale with the same cost as we can. We can do $1 per square as a manufacturing cost for graphene, but we are nowhere in the scale yet. So, and anonymity is another thing that is not felt well with when you talk about cameras, which can do on many things, and you can, of course, hide the privacy there, but the feel of intrusion is one of the key problems for cameras. Our business model is solution sales and SaaS. We climbing up towards 100 million revenue, starting with the market entry right now with the smart mats, and then following with the leak sensing solutions and smart flooring. Team is based in Finland and Australia, particular skills, signal processing and material science. And we're looking for funding now for a C-note round, just a bridging round before we get into the Series A for Q1. Mainly to fund the market kind of a rollout and productization. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the nice presentations. I would like to invite the experts to be active and ask their questions now.
Yes, one question is, which of the properties of the characteristic of graphene are you leveraging on? Conductivity or?
Conductivity. Correct. Conductive. So we are working with graphene nanoplatelets. So it's not a single atom layer. It's something that can be manufactured inexpensively, totally focusing on the conductivity.
Thank you.
What is your primary market? Is your primary market the first construction, or is it more an after-sales market?
We address construction market with the leak sensing. You need to design the solution, especially now when we are developing the solution. So it's better to work with the construction market for new buildings, because then you have time to design the solution in. You can work with aftermarket later on, but to start from there. Smart mats are a way of getting into the aftermarket, because when you look at smart floor, of course, the installation becomes the sort of delaying factor. So therefore, we are productizing the smart mat form factor first. That's how you get to the aftermarket and can scale fast. And then eventually you move to smart floors when the refurbishment time is at hand.
And what is your market entry strategy? Because for this market, you need to have a good network, good contacts to construction firms, to architects and engineers, and what else?
We work with Stora Enso for the CLT buildings. So we talk with them and we design the solution with them into their production. Then we talk to coatings companies who have access to the construction market. And that's how we then will talk with architects and the ones who are designing the buildings. And we talk also with universities, who gives us then access to places like InnoRenew, which is a smart kind of a development center in Slovenia, who work with architects, and so that we learn how to design the systems in, and we build the right contacts. But we need partners. That's why we work with the large construction and construction material companies.
For your actual customers, what's the average revenue per customer in the sales cycle?
We are looking for kind of a, if I'd say for leak sensing, we are charging, the solution cost is somewhere in the $10, 10 euros per square, depending on the accuracy need. And then data revenue, what we are looking at is something like 50 cents per square. And that will then be recurring revenue. So then it depends on really the size of the construction, size of the installation. For the building in Melbourne, we're looking at 400 square meters. So that gives you a few thousands of the kind of installation or the solution cost, and then a few thousands a year for recurring data revenue. And you will share that then with partners. It's always a partner model, because when you work with go-to-market partners, there needs to be revenue shares in place.
Thank you. We are out of time for questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much once again, Jaakko. The next company is Herta. Javier, would you like to start sharing your screen? Jaakko, could you please stop sharing?
I'm trying to do that.
There's a red button above, which says stop share.
Correct, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we see it. Could you please make it full screen? Wonderful. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you to be here today. My name is Javier Rodriguez, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Herta. According to Gartner, we have one of the most mature platforms for facial authentication, with many references and projects and partnerships, and of course, integrators all over the world. Herta is a software company. We develop software for basically for facial recognition projects. We have headquarters in Barcelona, offices in Madrid, Los Angeles, in Mexico, in Montevideo, and Singapore. We are 35 people. We have presence in around 50 countries and 250 partners worldwide, certified. Our idea is to become a leader, not only facial recognition, but also in analytics in general, in computer vision. So as I mentioned, facial recognition is our main target. And we offer solutions for video surveillance, for access control, and marketing. But with the eruption of COVID, we have also solutions to solve some problems we have right now, such as identifying people with masks, also mask detection, social distancing measuring, and also occupancy control. We have also just launched a software, a time and attendance app with facial recognition to monitor employees, basically. Our team is composed of experts in artificial intelligence, more specifically in deep learning and biometrics, with a broad experience. They have worked in companies previously, such as Google, SAP, Securitas, or Intel. And of course, they are passionate and committed with the company, of course. Facial recognition, let's talk about it. This technology is transversal to many sectors. You can find facial recognition in transportation, but you can also find in health, in gaming or sports, safe cities, IoT. There are many, many sectors. We have, of course, some competitors in the world, mainly from Japan, US, and Israel. But we overcome them, especially when processing video footage, live video from cameras, IP cameras, or recorded video. That's more forensic uses. We go very fast, extremely fast, due to the use of GPUs from NVIDIA, and we are able to process and to do 60 million comparisons, 60, in less than 1 second. So this is the fastest facial recognition you can currently find in the market. The technology is patented, and we have presence in the main workshops of course, of facial recognition in the world. And we are customer oriented. We have a very important partner program, also training program. And of course, we provide good support services to our customers. And we have been awarded in the last years. Maybe our most important award was in 2015, as NVIDIA named us as the world's most relevant emerging company. And currently, for instance, we have just been awarded with the Seal of Excellence from the European Union for COVID-19 response. We have a very rich partner ecosystem. Basically, we work with VMS, visual management system companies, camera companies. We sell through integrators and sometimes through distributors. And we have 2 big technology partners, which are Intel and NVIDIA. With regard to customers, we have an important pool of customers, 36 million in our pipeline. We have just migrated from the business model of one-time payment to the SaaS model. So we expect to increase revenue and make them more recurrent. But we can highlight here, for instance, safe cities. We have 10 safe city projects, and one of these projects is the most important out of China. This takes place in Jamaica, and it's for 250 cameras to control the city of Kingston. In transportation, for instance, we have the second largest bus station in Europe, which is in Madrid. And as you can see, different references from sports or law enforcement agencies. Some figures. We work through, as I mentioned, through integrators and distributors in a market which is, I would say, skyrocketing because currently nobody wants to touch anything. So we are replacing fingerprint systems in access control, for instance. We work in security, in marketing. Our burn rate is 125K month. And we plan to reach 29 million euro in sales in 4 years with a EBITDA of 19 million. Finally, we are looking for an investor for an investment of 5 million euro. For that, in a pre-money valuation of 15 million, we would deliver 25% of our stakes. And basically, we will invest in operational cost, sales, marketing, and the idea is to better compete with our main competitors in the world. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Javier, for the great presentation. Now it's time for questions. Dear experts, please ask your questions directly.
I have one question Hi, Javier. What is your revenue right now, or maybe last year? And how much investment have you had so far? Please.
Yeah. Last year, we reached 3 million euro. This year will be a bit lower because of the coronavirus effect as we sell to physical places. For instance, sports stadiums. Nobody goes to stadiums, so it's difficult to sell to them because many of the places we sell, they are closed. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm not totally deceived this year. Mm-hmm. With regard to the investment, we have invested around between 8 and 9 million till the creation of the company, which is not a big number. And it's very difficult to be one of the, to be honest, one of the top 3 players in the world with this amount of investment. But we just got it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Javier, excuse me, can you come back to the revenue you're expecting this year? Did you give a number? I didn't get that.
This year, near 2.5 million euro.
Okay. But so are you targeting recurrent revenues?
Yes.
Why is it going down then?
Yeah, because as I mentioned, we sell to physical places, as sports stadiums, for instance, casinos, in the retail sector, banking. So many of them, the majority of them, they close for a period of time, and the coronavirus effect is really terrible for us. Our main market is Latin America, and they are especially suffering from this problem. Europe, now it's with the second wave, it's also an issue. So this is the problem we have right now.
All right, thanks. One more question about the specificity of your technology. There are a number of players, I suspect. So you use deep learning for this?
Exactly, right.
So can you try to be more specific on what you would probably achieve differently than other players?
Yeah. We have, let's say, two things. We were pioneers in the use of GPUs from NVIDIA, you know, the boards that people used to play 10 years ago with good 3D graphics in computers. We used them to program in parallel. So we didn't use the traditional cores of the CPUs, 4, 6, 8 cores. We used the cores from the GPUs. At that time, there were hundreds of cores. Now there are thousands of cores. So we have optimized our software to work on that hardware. So that's let's say, our secret. We can manage with a single computer around 40 IP cameras at 4K resolution at the same time. So we can process lots and lots of data. So we well-balanced speed and accuracy. You can find companies that are very good in accuracy, but the system is very slow. So we balance very well. There is a good trade-off in our technology between speed and accuracy. And this is mainly our main competitive advantage.
Thank you very much, Javier, for answering all the questions. We're out of time. So I would like to invite the next company to present. This is Securaxis, and the entrepreneur is Gaetan Vannay. Could you please...
Yes, can you see me?
Yes.
I can share my screen.
Wonderful.
Here. What is all that? Okay, I need to move here. Here we are. And then if I make it big, is that fine for you? You have everything?
The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Gaetan, one of the co-founder of Securaxis. We turn noise into information. So the problem, more and more people are living in cities. There is more and more road traffic in cities and more noise traffic with more traffic. So it has a negative impact on the health of citizens, a negative impact on the value of the real estate and on energy consumption. So we need to monitor and manage road traffic and road traffic noise to make it sustainable, and monitoring while respecting privacy if possible. So the solution we give years to the cities
We combine acoustic, IoT, and deep learning to turn noise into data or into information to trigger then action. In one word, we detect, locate, and categorize specific sounds in any kind of environment. So if we translate that to traffic, it means counting the number of vehicles, categorizing the type of vehicles, car, trucks, motorcycle, electrical vehicles, indicating the directions, the speed and flow of traffic. We can monitor the sounds related to traffic, sirens, honking, car crashes, and so on, and monitoring the sound level also of traffic. So the added value of that solution, we can do traffic monitoring 80% cheaper than cameras and as accurate as camera. It allows up to 60% of reduction in electricity consumption using sound-based traffic street lighting. It helps avoid losses in real estate value with good monitoring, and it allows also monitoring 24/7 of traffic noise pollution to help decision makers to lower health impact. And all this while preserving privacy, because there is no images, no recording, only metadata are sent and sounds never leave the streets. And you want me to make it clearer with 3 use cases. In Paris, we will provide the ears to autonomous vehicles, buses, who are serving 3 main stations in Bercy, Gare de Lyon, and Austerlitz. So monitoring traffic and related noises such as sirens, car crashes, for these autonomous vehicles to act accordingly to the noises. Other use case in Geneva, they need to monitor noise level in real time and the counting of number of vehicles in our residential area, where they lower the speed traffic from 50 to 30 kilometers per hour just to have less traffic nuisance. So we check if it works, if it reduces the traffic and reduce the noises. And third use case will be fast in London. We are integrating our software solution into air quality sensors so they can monitor air quality and road traffic and at the same time to make a correlation. So that is, sorry, I just forgot to go through my point because I just was fascinated by what I say. The market is sound analytics. It's a growing fast market. So you see the CAGR is quite high, more than 75%, to reach 4.42 billion by 2025, sorry. And the market we address is, with our focus, as I mentioned, is around $1.5 billion. So if we check the competition, sound is highly competitive for traffic monitoring compared to other technologies such as radar, cameras, in terms of performance, cost, and scalability. And we are highly competitive in the sound analytics market thanks to our focus. We have in-house labeled data sets and dedicated models, and data on training is highly important for artificial intelligence. Our business model is a SaaS, software as a service, with annual recurring revenues. And our client targets are utility providers or system integrators. And the go-to-market strategy is, as we are a new company with a new technology, our clients are the utility providers like Shredder, Transdev, or Access. These are kind of companies we have currently pilots, project pilots running with. And they do sell them to cities. This is to accelerate the sales cycle. So this is the go-to-market strategy. This is the financials. We hope to be break-even by 2023. The revenue then will increase faster. We have a great team of specialists in data science, acoustic, AI. One of them, Vincent Mazret, was the main guy doing the acoustic part. A well-known robot, maybe you know it, the Now robot, the humanoid robot, maybe you remember it. And we also have great advisors. The main one being also one of our main investors, Stasia Nastasov, who is the previous CEO of Duracell. And our call to action today, we are looking for 1.1 billion euros, mainly to strengthen the techno for business development. And we have a plan to exit in 5 to 7 years. We are a techno company. So the idea is to sell the solution when it's fully mature to one of our current clients or potentially future investor if we're also looking in corporate VCs. So this is utility providers or system integrators company. That's for me. Any questions, most welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the great presentation. I would like to ask the investors to ask their questions now.
No questions? Everything was clear or everything was uninteresting?
I think
yeah. There's one question from my side. This is Karl speaking. So based on your described business model, who is actually owner of the data you are generating?
We want to keep the data ourselves, but that's absolutely, that is sometimes the tricky part. We have to negotiate, and this is discussion between the client and us. But what we agree most of the time, that for their own specific use, they are owner of the data, but that let us keep the data in order to make a bigger analysis, aggregating all the data that we do gather, but we don't go specifically in their field, in their area with our own data.
Is the peculiarity of your system is based on the number of data, so the quantity of data in sound that you collect, so you collect more than average, or is on the way you actually analyze this, and actually what is based on your competitor?
Always with deep learning, so the data and the collect of the data is very important. We do ground truth data. I mean, we go to gather the data in the streets. We don't take it from I don't know, from any second sources, what could be from computers, from recording and so on. We do our own recording, we do our own labeling all over in order to have the best, and then we label it ourselves in-house. This is what helps to have much better accuracy. I could give you one example. Bosch compared us with another company trying to do the same. We were around 90% accuracy, and the other ones, it was also their developers who did it, were only around 50% accuracy. It's because we are gathering lots of data, but then we are labeling the data very, very carefully. That is the secret behind deep learning and good AI.
Thank you.
Maybe a question on my side. So how do you assess the ROI of the solution, especially since you are selling to public players, which are not ROI-driven organization by design?
Yeah, it depends on I mean, you see there are quite a lot of use cases, so it depends for every situation. When it's traffic-based lighting, it's quite easy to calculate before and after how much energy consumption you can diminish. And if we compare also part of the ROI, how much cost our solution compared to other solutions to try to do the same operation as traffic-based lighting, we are much cheaper. So here we can calculate easily the ROI. For the other kind of situation, you're absolutely right. We can only give the tools to get the information, then they do the decision making to have our ROI according to why they do decide. That's absolutely clear. This calculation is done more by our clients who are buying our solution to integrate in their own tools. I mean, like Schroeder with the smart street lighting, they want our solution. I don't know, we did our own ROI, but I don't know how they calculate themselves their own ROI, but they want our solution. So that's fine for us.
No, check.
Thank you very much for the presentation and answering all of the questions. Now we are finished with the pitching session. And I would like to thank all of you for being here together with us. My colleague just shared in the chat the link to the satisfaction survey. I would like to ask all of you to give us your feedback so we can improve for future sessions. Please don't forget that we have one-to-one meetings this afternoon and the whole day tomorrow. So please respond to them and have a nice evening. Thank you all again. for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Flight. I know that